Hi everyone, Carmine here on the Launch Network. We are live, semi-live with Natasha and Patrick. These guys have an awesome product, awesome invention. They're actually awesome people too. That's why I wanted to get them on the show, talk about their product, their adventure, their journey. We've had some really cool ins and outs with this product, and now it is for sale. So I think it's really cool, just in time for the holidays. Let's bring them on, talk a little bit about it. Natasha and Patrick, the inventors of the dust catcher. Awesome stuff. What's happening, guys?
Hello.
Hey, Carmine. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad I got to catch you guys in this area. I mean, you guys are all over the place.
Yeah. We travel a lot, so you got us on lockdown.
Yeah, that's cool. I know that, with the pandemic and stuff, the traveling's been a little bit crazy, but you guys are back and forth. You're doing a lot of cool stuff. I want to talk a little bit about your product, your invention, but where do you guys travel to? What's happening? Like, why are you all over the world?
Well, we have an installation company, so that takes us all over the place. We work in hospitals, restaurants, school systems, all that kind of stuff, and we install things that hang on the wall. So it could be light fixtures, it could be dispensers, Purell, soap dispensers, everything that hangs on the wall. So we go in and we drill thousands of holes almost every day. So. Yeah.
Not too many people get to say that. We go and drill holes in walls all day, but
all day long.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big thing. People take that stuff for granted. It's kind of like I go into a bathroom, I go into a classroom, and there's all kinds of stuff hanging on the wall, and you take for granted like who's installing all those items. Do you do it during the day, at night, or is it government complexes too?
Yeah, it's pretty much everywhere, mostly hospitals. So it could be night, we're going in and out of the patient rooms all over the place. We got to be really clean, really quiet, and considerate of, the patient. So, but the most important thing is clean. We've always got to be clean. So yeah, that's where this kind of came from.
No, of course. So that brings me into, which is so cool, the dust catcher. And I love this product. I show it to everyone. We were just talking offline that I kind of have it on my desk when I'm talking to people, because I want people to realize that these are really cool products that seem like they're very simple solutions. Like, this is a product that catches the dust. I use it in my office. We moved offices recently, and I'm walking around, I'm drilling holes, and I'm like, oh my God, I got the dust catcher. It really, really works. And I was like, we got to get you on the show to talk about this. So let's talk about this. I mean, so before you came up with this idea, what did you do?
Well, so it used to be her and I, and we would go in and she would go in front of me and take down the, old products, the old dispensers, and mark everything out with a template. And we used to just drill, but it made so much mess, so much things. We tried other products, we tried vacuums, all this stuff. It's loud, so you can't be in there, with a big old shop vac and stuff. So she used to lay out wet paper towels for me. And so I'd get in there and I'd try to hold it under there and drill, and it still made a mess. And clean it up. But it was better. But she wore gloves. And so her hands were just wet and waterlogged all day long. And so, the complaint compartment was filling up with complaints, and so I had to figure something out.
and those are the most important complaints.
Yeah, those are the ones that matter.
Now, Natasha, you were working together. You guys had this business working together, and what were you guys? That's to me, that's a kind of a cool idea. Like, I get this wet paper towels because the dust will stick to it, and it'll help a little bit. So what was the next step? I know the answers, but I want our listeners to realize that this is a process. So, what did you guys do?
Yeah. Well, just my gloves kept getting dirty. So then I was making things dirtier versus trying to keep things cleaner. So he went to the drawing board in his garage. Yeah. And came up with a plan.
Yeah. So actually I went to one of the, hardware stores, and I found, I searched all of them. I'm looking. I spent all Saturday, Sunday, and I found an old, well, they're old now, but a paint cup that had the paint reservoir on one side and the brush cup on the other side. And I ran it through my table saw, and I came up with this little thing that I put up against the wall and started drilling with it. I thought, wow, this kind of works, It still made a mess, but it worked for what I was doing. And then I thought, well, what if I put a rubber lip on the front of it and it contoured and went to, tile, the different types of drywall, if you've got rough texture, and it like really worked. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. And I made them for all my employees, and I went in one day to get another one, and they were discontinued. And so I got one here. This is the original, very first dust catcher right here. It's like this little tiny thing with a rubber seal on it,
The reservoir.
Yeah, it's got this little
I love it.
So that's the original one. And so I made it for all the guys, and then they got discontinued, of course. And so we had to find another solution, and we searched and searched and searched, and we found another like paint cup. And I just cut it apart and modified it, and came up with like the next version of it. It's a red one. And then I found on the original one, the back of it started getting worn down from the drill bit, right? And so I put this metal.
Not a small piece of metal.
Not a small piece. It's got
it looks like a tank.
Rugged, it's got to hold up, right? So
let's manufacture this.
Oh yeah, this is like, I went someplace to get it done. They're like, yeah, it's going to cost you about $50 to have that done. I was like, okay, I'm going. Can't do that, But I've got about 40 of these for our employees.
Wow.
And, we went from that. I got props. Went to that, and then I came up with this. It's the little drill guide that's on the new dust catcher, and that's where that came from, because when we're drilling in tile, your bit slips, when you're trying to get in there. And so we came up with that, and it really, really worked, and that's where it all started, was with this. So lots of time in the garage, a lot of time thinking, a lot of time making these things, and it's been a long journey making them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been worth it. Time is money for us.
Yeah. Well,
all that cleaning up.
I love that you had this need and you came up with this solution. Natasha, in between all this, what was the craziness? Was like all these different, prototypes and inventions and products. I mean, were you like, what is he doing? Or did you see that, this is going to work right off the bat?
I thought it was going to work right off the bat. I already said we should manufacture it. We should sell it.
Yeah.
He has a few other things too. And I said, no, we've got to start with this. So no, I liked, but it kept getting bigger and bigger and heavier and heavier.
Well, that's what guys do.
Dial him in a little bit.
We need to be able to throw it at somebody. We need to whack it against the wall.
There's a wheel chuck stop my truck from rolling.
Well, going back to that, so all that stuff is so cool that you have those prototypes. That's what kind of inventors do, and you have seen it firsthand. You've done it. We always want that Swiss Army knife of inventions. And I like that you start off doing that, but then you kind of went back and said, we just right now needed to catch dust. Was it kind of tough to just do that one first version, or did you want to put, a laser on it or a light or some kind of fan, or, I mean, it must have been something.
Yeah. And you got to reel me in because I'm always going over the top on stuff. So really kind of brought it back and simplified it. And, our first prototype really, I think, it was awesome. It worked perfectly, everything. But after we made 500 of them, we got them out in the field, got them working, put them in all my guys' hands, and then I got feedback. And so that was a really good process to get that firsthand feedback. And I used it every day also. So I was able to see how to, modify the next version, which is the production model that we have now. And it works so much better. It is awesome. It really is.
That's awesome. So what's great about what you guys did is now you're handing it out to guys go out in the field. And we all know that team members and other employees, we love our inventions, but when we give it out to people, they're not going to use it exactly like we want them to, or they're going to beat it up. And it was kind of good that you were getting that feedback that the guys liked it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And even before we had our prototype, we would use the yellow one and the red ones out in the field, and people were constantly asking, where did you get that? Oh my God, where can I find that? How did you get what? And so that's what really, it was every facility, everywhere we went, the maintenance departments. Just everybody wanted to know where you got that. And so we kind of really started thinking, hey, we've got something here and we need to move forward with it.
Isn't that it's cool and it's scary all at once, because here you have you have a business and you're busy. You're like, we're pretty busy here. Now we're going to start on another journey. But that other journey, that product, people want it. it's one of those things where you really have to kind of control which way you go, because you still have to run your other business, right?
Yes.
Yeah. This is our third company. So, you know, between the other two, running the other two, and then throwing this in there on top. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but I mean, it's not going to do itself, you know, so.
We have to keep restructuring, refocusing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, you know, what I like about you guys, and I've talked to you many, many times, and you know, it's very stressful. You don't always have to get along or agree about everything. Is working together, does it seem like it's easier that you're kind of always on the same page in a sense?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like I always say, when we first met, we've been attached at the hip ever since. And so we were really focus driven. We know what we want. We've got an end goal together, you know, so that really helps us, I think, staying focused. There's ups, there's downs, you know, there's stuff, you know, but you know, at the end of the night, or at the end of the day, we're on the same team, we're on the same page. And I think that really helps us out a lot. We're working towards the common interest for us both. So I think it's good. Yeah.
We've been working together since we met.
Yeah, really. We took off together and that was it. And we never looked back.
That's so great.
Yeah,
That's
she's been
awesome.
supportive of me. Like, she's my biggest fan, my cheerleader. So the things that I come up with, she really promotes them and pushes them. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. And Natasha, there's probably a lot of things that he comes up with, right?
It doesn't stop. One thing at a time. One thing at a time.
Constantly calling, I got this idea. She'll Google it. She's like,
It's already out there.
It's already
all right, I'll call you back later with another one.
I got something else. I'm working on something.
No, that's what's so great about it. And it's kind of fun in a way, but I love that you zeroed in on this first idea. You got it going. So where are you guys now with the idea? I know that you mentioned earlier, you have production, you have ready. You know, what's going on with the product?
So we have fulfillment company in place. We've got the production going. We've got commercials going on Newsmax TV between now through Christmas, pretty much every day of the week.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be on the Grommet, hopefully in the next week or so. And we are on Home Depot. Well, we will be on Home Depot e-commerce, not in the stores yet, but we are selling with them online. Anything else?
Pretty exciting. We got, you know, Google, of course, is your best friend. And so we've got major ad campaigns, you know, typing in keywords. So if people are typing in for Christmas. If they're looking for stuff for Christmas, you know, and they're trying to figure that kind of stuff out, you know, we're right there at the top. So we really are promoting it. I mean, this has been in the works for over 2.5 years, I think. And we're just now to the point where we missed last year, but we really weren't ready for Christmas and all that. So we really focused, and everything's coming to a head right now. And it's amazing.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting. We're getting sales off TV and everything right now. So it's really like, it's exciting. Yeah. And I think,
cool.
yeah, I think next year is going to be the bigger year for us. You know, we're getting momentum right now.
Well, what kind of feeling is that? I mean, your product, people that you don't know are buying your product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
the first one that came in, I was like, I want to send her a gift card. I was like, wait.
No.
Slow down.
But it is exciting, and you want to like reach out and thank all those people.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I mean,
I always want to see where they came from. I'm like, well, where'd they come from?
State?
It's
What
like
state?
Ohio, Delaware, Louisiana,
All over the
Kentucky,
country.
you know? Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love it. You know what's going to be crazy is you guys are going to walk into a site one of these days, and somebody's going to have one of those babies on your belt, and you're just going to be like, wow.
Yeah, there it is.
Or on the shelves at Home Depot or Lowe's.
Yeah, when you walk into a store and you see your product, it is. I mean, I've actually taken pictures where the clients didn't even know the product was going to be on the shelf yet, and take a picture and send it. And I'm like, hello, where'd you go? And they like just hit the ground. It's just such an awesome feeling.
Yeah.
But how hard is it, you know, in retrospect? I want our inventors to realize that, you know, real life scenarios, to really get your product out there. I mean, it's a lot of work, right?
Yeah, it's tough.
You can't lose your faith in it, or, you know, if you believe in it, you just got to stick with that. But at the same time, you got to know when, how do you say, you know, at some point, if you think it's not going to work out, you got to know when to stop too.
Yeah,
but
which we don't know when. We don't have that.
None of us. That's why we're inventors.
No, but it's scary. Like I said, this has been going on for, you know, 2.5 years, and it's a lot of money, and it's a lot of work. You really have to dedicate your time And as little bit of time as you have to put it out there. You know, it's not going to do itself. It's not going to build itself. It's not going to make itself. You know, so it's real world, and you have to dedicate yourself 100%, or it's not gonna do anything.
Mhm.
You know, get the right people involved also really helps out. Professionals, you know, that you can trust and rely on their opinions and stuff. But at the end of the day, you're making the decisions and you're forking out the dollars. So it comes down to us, you know.
Yeah, well,
but it's not an easy walk.
It's not for the faint of heart, is what I would say. You know, in the invention biz is tough. And as we talked about, there's you got to really be careful where you spend those resources. Resources of, you know, you spend a lot of time as a resource too. So, you know, you can really burn yourself out if you go down the wrong rabbit hole, I guess.
Oh yeah.
And it's gonna happen.
We've gone down a few of those. Sure. Absolutely. Yeah, we've made mistakes along the way. You know, I always say I've failed more than I've ever succeeded, and it's really true. You know, you have to keep failing, and you learn from that. You really do. Like, you know, we jumped into this. We didn't know anything about anything, but researching and dealing with the right people, the wrong people, really teaches you a lot of different stuff. And sometimes it costs you money along the way, but it's valuable. It's valuable information and a learning experience too. So you just got to wrap all that up in a ball and keep playing with it.
Yeah. So
I'm not afraid of anything, and I'm on the other side. I'm afraid of everything. So we balance each other out pretty well.
Yeah, but that's good. It's kind of good in a way. But even though you're balancing, you're not stopping each other from moving forward. That is a real, you know, professional way of looking at it. Like, you know, you're careful. You need that dreamer. You need that person who's coming up with those ideas, and then you put the person who's pulling you down to earth. But you're always still moving forward. Right. Very, very important, you know, because you could be fearful and never do anything. I mean, how many people have told you they have ideas they're scared to tell somebody?
Right. Yeah. That's not going to help you. No, you gotta go for it. Yeah.
Exactly. So is there, without naming obviously any names, is there a low point to this? Have you run into something that we could warn an inventor about without being fearful, but, you know, what to look for when they're trying to do something?
Go ahead.
Like you always say, sleep on it.
Yeah.
I'm as much as I am fearful to, you know, kind of pull the trigger, I am reactive, I guess. I'll want to jump on things right away to get things done and move on to the next step. But he's really.
I like to sleep on things. I don't like to make, you know, decisions right away. You know, I can think about something and try to come up with the best answer after a few days, and I'm okay with that. Patience, you know. But I think there's, you know, low points. You know, sometimes web design, we've had some problems with that. You know, early manufacturing, and man, just getting it from the drawing board to CAD drawings, it was a daunting task. And to work with engineers who, you know, they'll keep playing with it all day, which I can't do. I can keep modifying and we got to find a spot we got to find a place to stop, you know? Yeah. But then, you know, getting it out of your mind and off that paper onto there, it's difficult when you're working with somebody and they want to do it kind of their way, and you got to reel them in and say, no, you know, we're doing this. So yeah,
and you still are running your businesses too.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
You know,
I know there's low points, there's high points. You know, I think they just both come and go, and just keep going forward. You know.
Yeah, that is so great. It's awesome. But you're right. In an engineer aspect, you know, an engineer. Not in a bad way. He wants to please his client, so he's always going to be trying to make it better. Or, you know, like you said, he wants to give you the Swiss Army knife of dust catchers.
Right.
But in reality, you just want that first version.
Yes.
You know,
it's fun. We got our first version done. And another suggestion I would say, if you've got a product, I would say, you know, get that 3D print of it. 3D print is amazing now. You can get your product made and actually see it come to life. And of course, I've got my very first one that it's 3D print, and we're able to. I mean, they even did the rubber seal. I mean, just everything is right there.
Thank God, that's the first one. And in his hands, it's so tiny.
it's like this little tiny thing, and we almost went to production with this, and it would have been a disaster if we didn't. It was like $400 to get this thing done. It was well worth it. So,
I agree.
Yeah, you know, getting that, I think, is a big deal. If you can print that out and have it in your hand, touch it, feel it, test it, you know, without breaking it, of course, it's a good idea. Yeah, smart.
Yes, Natasha, you probably saw that 3D print and were like, what's this toy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm pushing to go straight to production too. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, again, as inventors, I'm impatient. I want to like, okay, I did it. I want to go to the next step now. I don't want to verify my step. I just want to go to the next step. You know, and that's because that's what inventors do. We just want to keep moving forward because we really don't know what that next step is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of good that you guys have each other to be like, no, we're not making this yet, you know, and being able to test it right there, you know, out in the market. I mean, that was instrumental because we get inventors that really don't work in the markets that they invented. And that's sometimes not a good thing. What I love is that you were able to make these products and go right out and test them.
Yeah. Yeah. That was key for us. I think we had a built-in, you know, test field for ourselves, and all the R&D was done right on site, you know, and I just kept tweaking it. And, you know, what we have today, I mean, I don't think we don't have to change anything about it. It is there. It's like this perfect little tool for it now. So yeah, and it really works. It's great. Anybody can use it too. That's what's so cool is anybody can use it. When you see it work, when you see what it does, everybody has that aha moment of like, oh yeah, I needed that. Or man, I know someone that can use that. I wish I would have had that, you know? And it's also one of those things, it's like, it's one of those, duh, man, why didn't I think of that kind of thing too? We get that all the time, you know?
Yeah, but you know, and there's a lot of products out there that, you know, I may never run into or need, but this product, you could have it in your office or you could have it in a drawer in your house. And if you use it once a year, it still pays for itself because that dust gets everywhere.
You're going to hang your TVs or you got new blinds. I was just hanging blinds at my sister's house and I didn't have it. And I was.
Of all people, she didn't have one. So that is huge mess. They're vacuuming, they're cleaning, they're wiping, you know?
you gotta get the mini dust catcher so you can keep it on your keychain. I'm only kidding.
Hey,
I'm just kidding, guys. No. So, do you have one of the finished production models with you?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, it's right here. This is the finished production model, and it's amazing. It's been just redesigned, you know, everything. The drill guide in it. It's got a belt clip that works awesome. The rubber is molded in. I mean, it's just a perfect, rugged little tool, and it's great. We love it. We love it, and everybody that comes in contact with it really likes it too. So, and
it holds up commercial use. Yeah. If you think about it, we use it commercially over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So
that's big. That's huge because, you know, some products, you know, you get a professional takes it and they beat the hell out of it, and it lasts a day. You know?
Oh, yeah. No, I've been using mine since we got the production model. I've been using mine in the field, you know, for about 5 months now, and it is still the exact same. You know, it's beat up, of course. I've been using it, but it works perfect. The rubber seal is perfect. Everything is. I don't have to replace it. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, you can buy stuff all the time and take it out of the box and it's already broken. You know, this is something that it works.
Durable.
It's durable. Yeah, and it does what it says.
What I like about it is that it stands up to commercial use.
Yeah.
But it looks good, so somebody can use it in their house or have it in their house. It doesn't look like this, you know, ugly tool.
Right.
You know, so I could see people using it, and I love the color. It really stands out. Do you have the two different versions so we can point out to the viewers the small changes that, because I can see the changes.
So this was our prototype. And, you know, it has this divider inside here. And that was because, you know, we hammer drill. So we're going into concrete, tile, all this stuff.
Yeah.
We're hammer drill. So the impact, when you go through that hole, sometimes that impact can really, you know, let loose when you break through. And, man, so we put this in here. And then it was just causing problems. It was, you know, when you I never liked the idea of it, and I was like, it's causing problems for me, you know. and
this part,
and then this part here, you know, I used to cut these pieces. I got this whole thing that I made, and I'm lopping these pieces off.
We gotta send you that video.
Yeah, and you know, even the prototype, they couldn't get the belt clip right, so I'm heating them all up. Every one of them, I'm heating with a heat gun and pressing down with a piece of aluminum.
Putting
and all
them in
this,
the freezer.
Putting them in the freezer, you know.
You're giving yourself a job here.
I know, man. I was a part-time job. So yeah, so then that, and then, you know, it's really.
Oh, wow, look at the difference.
You know, really different. The cup is, you know, a lot bigger. The support is not needed. The way it's designed, it's real ergonomic. So this design here, the round with this, it really keeps it solid. So when you go through an impact, it doesn't affect it at all. It really just works.
And then the overmold of the rubber.
Yeah, the overmold of the rubber, the way this is contoured, you know, it goes right up, you know, this angle right here, when it goes up against the wall, makes this perfect just seal up against the wall, high sides, you know, it just catches the dust, you know. And it's funny because, you know, we call it the dust catcher, but that's what it's always been called from the very beginning. You know, guys would be drilling and making this mess. I'm like, hey, you forgot where's your dust catcher? And they're like, oh yeah, my dust catcher. And so we were trying to come up with this name for it and everything. And it's what do we call it? We had 100 names. And it was always still, it's the dust catcher, you know, where's your dust catcher? Where's your dust catcher? So it's still the dust catcher.
Wow. I'm a big fan of the name being and explaining what a product does. I'm just a big fan of that. So that's why I mean, each step of the way, you've gone up and down and made things, but it seems like you've always had that trajectory to keep it moving forward. And it looks like not only a great product, it stands up to commercial use and personal use. It looks good, and it's got a cool name too. So I think it got such a huge hit here. I know I'm prejudiced about it, but it's a great product.
Yeah, I'm really hoping so too. You know, I think just over the years, the response that we've gotten, you know, really, that's why I say, man, it seems like we've really got something here, and we've got to move on it. And here we are. You know, we're selling them. We're on TV. We got a commercial. We're selling them. You know, it's great. So we're working on the box stores, and you know, we've got some help. You know, getting us into the box stores and stuff, because you know, time is very short for us. So we did, you know, outsource some of that work, and that's starting to pay off as well. So, you know, a lot of people, they beat the streets and get in there and call. And a lot of times we don't have the time for that. So if you're able to find somebody that can do it for, you know, be a partner and help you with that, I think that's an advantage as well.
Yeah. Natasha, in all of the different roles that you got and hats that you guys are wearing, what is kind of your favorite part of the dust catcher side of the business?
Well, I like to always learn, the software is just learning about the building of the website. I like to pick everybody's brain and learn everything, right? So that I can keep up with it. But my favorite part right now is the sales part and the customer service. Oh. We're getting some emails saying that they're maybe having a little bit of trouble purchasing in the shopping cart. So I'm responding right away. I'm taking phone calls. I'm reaching out to make sure that we stay on top of everything and show that, you know, not only do we have a good product, but we have great customer service. And I'm really enjoying that part.
I think people are crashing our shopping cart.
That's right.
Yeah, too many people.
Yeah. So keep trying, everybody. Keep trying.
Yeah, I want to see this product on like Good Day America or the Today Show, because then your website's going to get hit. You know, because I can see this product when they say, you know, basic gifts for husbands or Father's Day. This product I could see just going gangbuster for Father's Day.
Yeah, that's our next big push after the holidays is, you know, our next focus is going to be Father's Day. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and without being sexist, I mean, there's a lot of women that work around the house too, you know, but, you know, I could see it being like, you know, women are looking for something to get for their husband or something like that. But it's a great product for anyone to use because it's a light.
Kids, you don't have to buy your dad a tie or underwear, you know, you get them the dust catcher.
Yeah, well, it seems like it's very easy to use because of the drill, you know, centering device. And it's not like, you know, you need this huge amount of instruction. I mean, I like how, again, I don't use the word simple, but it seems like a simple tool to use once you try it a few times.
We've had a few responses about having the kids try it, which then they're learning how to use the hand drill and they're getting to hang something in their room. Yeah. So we have had a few people respond that even their kids are using it and how easy it is.
You know, that's cool. What's funny too is when I bring new guys in to train them, I have a training facility for other companies, and you know, I get them on the wall and we're drilling holes, we're hanging things before I put them in the field. And, you know, they're using this thing and all of that. And I'm like, you know, what do you think about that? Like, man, this thing, I don't know, I've never seen it before. It's really cool, you know, I like it, man.
And he doesn't tell
I
them.
don't tell them, you know. I had one guy, he's like, man, whoever had this, man, they're making money.
You're like, yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
That's great.
I love it though. And then, you know, the prototypes, I use those for my guys because I've got a few of them left over. It's got my picture on the front, you know, and then finally they'll get with the other team members and stuff. And then they'll realize, you know, hey.
Well, it's good that you're training them right from the beginning to start using the product.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And then, you know, when you have a new guy too, they forget about it. They're not used to using it. People are just used to just drilling holes and dust balls or whatever.
It's just part
so
of the deal,
they're not used to it. And then they get the hang of that and they're like, wow, you know. And I actually paint a black floor underneath our training area. So when people drill, you can actually see, you know, because we got to make sure we're clean working in hospitals. So yeah, you know, when they do that and then they get this, they're like, oh, I don't have to bend over. I don't have to sweep. I don't have to do all this, you know? Yeah, it's great.
Wow. Well, you know, time, not only does it save so much time, but I think it looks so professional that the person that you're working for doesn't mind calling you back. Like how many, you know, people that are listening to the show, they've had handymen come into the house or into an office, and when they leave, even though they cleaned up, they didn't really clean.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny story. We went to our first company that was doing our website, and we're sitting in there and, you know, signing non-disclosures and all this stuff. And we popped it out on the table and told them what it was. And they're like, oh my God, look over in the corner. And we looked over and there's a pile of dust from the cable guy.
The cable guy came in.
The cable guy came in and just like left.
But they said it's been there for like a month.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's been there. Nobody's cleaned it up yet, you know? It's just funny. And, you know, we go into facilities all the time and we show, you know, I've got a video here. This is how we're going to, you know, work in your facility. This is what we use to make sure, you know, because you got people that are there to watch, make sure that you're not making a mess. And, you know, I always tell the guys, your mom doesn't work here with you. You got to clean up after yourself. And the, you know, environmental services, they're not there to clean up. So we got to make sure we're doing it. And they see this and they're like, wow, that's great. You know, so perception, you know, is reality a lot of times too.
I think it's awesome. I think it's great. You're not, and you're setting a precedent for other companies that come in because again, that dust is so finite that it's not only annoying, but it gets everywhere.
Yes, it does. And then, you know, when you wipe up, you think you're clean, and then you go back 5 minutes later, there's a big white smear mark where you didn't get it all.
The residue.
Yeah. So even our some of our competitors, they're buying them. Some of the companies that we contract for, they're buying them for their internal teams and stuff. So it's really taken a liking to. People like it.
Wow, it's so cool. You know, a product like this, I just love seeing it because people get it once they see it.
Yeah.
There's no like, oh, you know, I need a 50-page instruction manual and, you know, they're using it upside down or whatever it is, you know. I mean, it just works. It's right there. Put it on your belt. Now, do the guys put other stuff in there while they got it on their belt? I'm sure because it's.
Yeah. So we.
Like the old screws, when you pull the old screws out of the wall, because we're taking the dispenser down. So there may be old screws or anchors or even some tape because they'll use double-sided stick tape. And it will fill up before the end of the day, and then they'll empty it before they, maybe at lunch or at the end of the day, they'll empty it. So
yeah, we keep it right on us, and all the trash from the wall, everything goes right in there. You know, it's easy. Dump it out later, and you know, keep on going. That was one thing in the beginning using some another product. Man, the reservoir. I mean, you could only drill a couple holes, and it was full, and you can't. You know, have that. You can't keep dumping stuff out like that, you know, in a hospital.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
The big cup on there, the reservoir really keeps you working. Yeah.
Awesome.
And the vacuums too. You know, we've had a few hospitals that requested us to use the vacuums, and like you were saying, we send the video and they'll accept this over the vacuum.
Yeah. So that saves us a massive amount of time. You know, just not having to do that too. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a time saver too, money saver. You know, this is like next to our drill. This is the most important tool we have because it has saved us so much money over the years. Not having to clean up. That's the thing is the cleanup. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks great. Well, we've got a couple minutes left. What's next on the horizon for the Dutch caster? Or do you have a different product in mind, or what's happening with it?
Well, I think you know, after we see some bigger sales, I think we've got the next version. Of course, I've always got the next version coming. And I think that's going to be a great product for us as well. And I think that's what we're going to focus on. I've got other ideas, but I think we're going to run with this. And
He has another really good idea
yeah,
that we really, really like, but it's a lot more expensive
Yeah.
to bring to market. So we wanted to get our feet wet, if you will, and learn everything with this.
Yeah,
And
great.
so once this gets to where we need it to, you know what I'm talking about,
oh yeah,
right?
we got other.
I love it. Well, it's so great how you guys work together and you getting this knowledge and experience together so that you can work so much smarter on your next invention is going to go, obviously nothing's ever super smooth, but just think about all the things you've learned. It's going to go,
We say
in the
that all
right
the time.
direction so much easier.
Yeah, we do. We say that all the time. The next process is going to be so much easier, so much more streamlined. Yeah, you got to go through it though. You got to learn it. You got to do it. So, that's my advice to everybody. Just, get in there, do it. I always say, find your, happy place in your house, your garage, your shop. If you got an idea, make a prototype, figure it out. And, try to see if people like it. You don't have to spend a lot of money on it, and, just test it out a little bit and see if people like it.
Awesome. So great. Well, tell us how can we get a hold of this product?
All right.
thedustcatcher.com.
That's it. Just go on out there. So I took a look at your site. It looks really good. What do you think of the site, Natasha?
It's turned out really well. We're really happy with it. We're always wanting to keep it fresh and new. So we have help with that right now. And we're making sure that the speed is right. We learned about the speed of a website. And if it doesn't load fast enough, people may not want to stick around. So
yeah, these last couple of months working on the website,
and the marketing.
Wow, we thought we've got a website. We're great. No way. No way. We got it into the right people's hands and optimized the heck out of it, because like she said, if people click on it and it's just not working, it's spinning, loading, people are going to go away. So yeah, there's so much that you have to learn. You can trust people and they say, oh yeah, we did this, we did that. But you got to verify it. And we've gone through, this is our third time with our website, getting it revised to where now it's optimized. Yeah.
Wow.
So you gotta really stick on people, man. Don't trust people. You got to really do your due diligence, because it's your money, it's your product, it's your baby.
Responsibility. It is.
Yeah. So you can have a great product, but if people can't buy it,
exactly.
When people want to give you money, you need to better take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Or they get on there and they can't, get on and purchase it. Is this real? Is it, what is it? So yeah.
Oh, that's frustrating. Oh, don't tell me that. Oh.
Yeah.
Make sure you are legit, because there can questions start to come up if things aren't smooth.
Yeah. So it's a big learning experience, but it's great. I don't think we'd have it any other way. We're not time clock punchers. We can't do that. We're out shaking, moving, grooving, and I think it's been fun. It's been fun, and we really enjoy the payoff that we're receiving right now. Just getting sales and the interest in it. It's exciting. It really gives you a boost, a pep in the step.
That's so.
We were talking to a customer last night that commented or complimented our commercial. So
yeah, it was fun.
That was exciting.
Isn't that cool?
I
love it.
Did you hear that?
Now you guys are gonna getting recognized all over the place.
Yeah, right. On the podcast.
We'll get 1 or 2 people to watch. It'll be good.
And recognition.
Yeah.
Well,
I know you guys got to get going, and we're gonna close the show up. I think again, and it's not just because of the product itself. I think that you've done the right thing, the right backup, the right options. You put the right stuff behind it. And I wish you all luck in the world. I know the product's going to be successful. I think because you have done it the right way, but you learn from missteps. I don't like the word mistakes, and you've taken care of that. So I think that it's not only fun, so you're having fun, but it's an awesome product.
Thanks, Carmine. Hey, a big shout out to you too. You've been big help. Appreciate it.
No problem, man. No problem. I love working on stuff where people that have a great vision in mind, and I think this product is going to be awesome. So thedustcatcher.com, everyone that's out there listening, grab it for awesome gift product. There's no doubt about it. Grab it for everyone, and it's going to be a big hit. And we're going to catch up with you down the road. I want to get maybe an update on how things are going.
That sounds great. Hey, anytime we're available for you.
Awesome, man. You guys have a Have a great holiday. Hopefully you'll be talking soon. We'll get some updates. And you guys take care.
All right. Thanks, Carmine. Have a good night.
Thanks. All right, guys. Everybody out there listening, go ahead on to dustcatcher.com. It was an awesome, awesome, fun podcast with these guys. What a great product. It's so much fun to talk to somebody who's gone through it all and has a product for sale. If you could, please go on out to Google Play or iTunes, wherever you consume your podcast listening, or go on out to our YouTube page of the Launch Network, where you can watch the show, what we're doing live. I thank you for listening, and we will catch you next time on the Launchpad. You all take care.